All right, we welcome UC Irvine coach Russell Turner, Devin Tillis, and Justin Hohn. We will have coach make an opening statement, then direct questions only for the players after that, and then follow up with questions for coach. Coach, if you go ahead and make an opening statement, congratulations.
Okay, great. Thank you, JD. Appreciate everybody who's here. The opportunity we had to compete tonight was special. Our team, performed well down the stretch, enough to win, and I'm grateful for that. I want to credit North Texas for the quality of their team. They really punched us in the mouth to begin the game and played at a higher level than we did. But over the course of the game, we settled in and made plays and did what we also are known to do. And couldn't be prouder of these guys sitting next to me and of our whole locker room because we had so many different guys contribute. So it was a great night to be an Anteater.
All right, we will go ahead and opening questions for the players. Please raise your hand. Players, if questions are directed at both of you, then we'll start with Justin and then Devin. So at this time, we have questions for the players. Please raise your hand.
I'm Israel Schumann with the OC Register. Justin, I think every single one of the threes you made was consequential, whether that was, getting a lead or tying. How clutch did you feel on those, especially that last one, and just, the degree of difficulty, especially on that last one? Just speak to that.
It's pretty easy answer. I've been here 6 years now. This is my 5th year playing. Before every game, I've always heard shoot with confidence. That's the last thing Coach Turner says. So that's going through my mind. And then we at Butter, get to your best stuff. We might not say it like that, but get to your best stuff. And clock was ticking. Just got a shot up and went in.
Devin, they're known for their defense, obviously, and the way that they were doubling you, especially in the first half, seemed to, at times throw a wrench in things, but at other times open things up. So just talk about that pressure and how you dealt with it.
Being double teamed in the post is something I had to deal with all year. Theirs was just a little bit more overwhelming, I would say. But Coach Turner always tells me to lower myself, take your time, make the right reads, and stuff will open up. And that's what happened at the end of the game when guys started making shots and plays. My post-up was more crucial, and it opened up more for me.
More questions in the room? Please raise your hand.
And then, Justin, just to take the team here where it's never been before and, play April ball where, it is the NIT, but it's April basketball. How do you feel about that? How proud are you of this, achievement to get this far?
It's a very special feeling. I can't really quite put it to words right now. I think I can speak for everyone in the group. We're kind of just trying to soak it all in and then, finish the mission on Wednesday or Thursday.
Devin, in your mind, what are you playing for Thursday other than an NIT Championship? What does it mean?
I'm playing for pride, man, and respect. We came up short in our own tournament, and obviously that was disappointing a little bit. But we have another chance to kind of redeem ourselves in a way and come out on top. And I want to play for the name on my chest, my community, all the people who always support us, and obviously my brothers who don't have any more years left. So.
Okay, final question for the players. Talk about the resiliency of coming back from down 15 with 8 minutes to go in the first half. And what you guys maybe said in the previous timeout or whatever you had to do, but that's a special a special accomplishment in any game, and let alone in a winner-take-all game.
Yes, sir. Just to reiterate, it's one of the things Turner says for every game. It's going to be 40 minutes or longer. So, basketball's a game of runs. Can't get too high, too low. Trust your guys, trust your coaches, and everything will fall in.
Devin?
And then, I don't know if you guys know, but every game we've been losing in either the first half or early in the second half. But something that we always reiterate is having that belief that we are going to win. Mm-hmm. And even in a game where stuff's not going your way, you get punched in the mouth early. I feel like there was no point that we didn't lose that belief. We always feel like we're going to come back and win, and that's what we've done every game in the NIT. So yeah.
All right, gentlemen, you are dismissed.
Thank you.
We ask that you raise your hand for Coach and take the microphone. A reminder to those on Zoom that please use the raise hand function if you have a question for Coach Turner. Go ahead.
Coach, talk about the adjustments that you guys had to make there to get back into the game. You could kind of see it late in the first half with it being tied at halftime, and then you got down in the second half. What adjustments were made in the huddle to get you back in the game?
Yeah, early in the game, we just didn't rebound the ball well, and we turned the ball over. We had 17 turnovers, and credit to North Texas for that. We knew the defensive level that they would bring would be really high. What Devin said is that the double teams were a little bit more devastating, or whatever word was he used. They really were physical and aggressive and took the ball from us, in large part because we continued to take the ball into the baseline where their players were able to shrink the court and really attack the ball. We got them in foul trouble in the first half. That was really important for us. And then in the second half, they got us in foul trouble, and that affected the way that we could defend. The adjustments we continued to make, Atten Wright is an outstanding scorer. We know that. We used different guys on him. We had a hard time doing the things against him that we said we were going to do, but we usually can find a better matchup within the different varied talents we have of individual defenders. And I thought we did that. I thought Kyle Evans and Eli Chol were excellent in the first half and the minutes that they played for Bent Leuchten. And then Bent really raised his level of play in the second half. That's not so much as an X and O's adjustment as it is what it takes to play and win big games. So really credit to Bent for that. Figuring out the right guys to have on the floor in this game was a puzzle. Can't credit Torian Lee enough for coming in and playing with confidence in the first half with his shooting. He made 2 big threes. And then the defensive level that he gave us on the ball as a young player, the impact that he had when we played smaller, our ability to rebound got stronger as the game went on, in part because we adjusted to how physical and aggressive they were in attacking the boards. So we played better. We were super fortunate in the first half. I talked to my team about winning the mental game. North Texas, when they were ahead, they were rightly feeling good. They took a technical and they took a flagrant foul, and I thought those 2 things were big for us. And I thought our team did win the mental game. There was a double technical in the second half, but that's growth for this group because we're an emotional, passionate group. And we won the mental game tonight, so I thought that was really big.
Okay, Steve, and then we'll come back to this other side of the room. Steve?
Russell Stevens, streaming Excel Sports. I watched you guys against San Diego both times, and I watched you guys against Santa Barbara. You are indicating maybe a little bit that North Texas defense was a little bit stronger than what you had faced in the season. And the second question is, the vision of Miles Chi is pretty tremendous.
Yeah, first about North Texas, I think they've got the 42nd ranked defense in the country, which may be the top we played. If it's not, it's close. The style that they play is difficult. That's why they win. We also play a similar style. Ours is rated a little bit better than theirs. They hold teams to fewer points, but a lot of that is related to tempo. Our defensive efficiency is actually better when we're at our best. I didn't think we were at our best early in the game. We kept allowing their players to go to their strengths. We didn't execute as well as I thought we would as the game wore on. And then we made some huge plays in the stretch, like we typically do because we're always between the ball and the basket. We fouled Atten Wright on a 3 late. That one was disappointing to me because of how much of an emphasis we made to not do that. But other than that play, I thought defensively we mostly made a lot of great plays. And then we were fortunate. We had, I joked with my team at the end of the game, the air ball pass play was perfect tonight. We executed it for layups twice. It was probably the only 2 easy layups that we got. Maybe there were a couple of others. But we were fortunate. And then you said something about Miles. You didn't really ask a question, I don't think. But, yeah, Miles was terrific. I mean, Miles is as intense and high level a competitor as I've had. He and I fit well because of that. He's a little nutty sometimes, which reminds me of myself. And so I can't give him enough credit for coming in here as a transfer and acclimating himself into a veteran team in such a crucial role as the one he plays for us. I'm really, really proud of him because he's fighting, he's fighting some difficult stuff too. You can probably see him holding his shoulder. He's going to be ready for the next game. I know that.
Okay, last question for Coach.
Just seemed, you've mentioned that first half a couple times already, but just the amount of ways that it seemed like they were beating you. I mean, how disappointed and kind of surprised, and then what did you say to your team and to kind of get them back on track?
I encouraged them to raise their level of play. I did that with some language of intensity at times, which is what I often do. We needed to raise our level of play and performance in the first half. The message I gave to my team coming into this game was that playing against them would be a lot like playing against us in practice. But the level that they reached early in the game was not a level that we could handle. Some of that's because we haven't been out of practice as much or as intensely. There was belief that we could handle what they would throw at us, but we very clearly did not do that early in the game. So we had to play our way into the game, which when you're playing a new opponent, sometimes that takes some time. We've had some games like that this year in a really difficult schedule that we've played. And so you heard the players mention the belief that we have that we can get it figured out and get some things adjusted and execute better the things that we say we're going to do when we come into a matchup. That's what I think we did tonight, and then we made big plays in big moments with a little bit of luck on our side coming down the stretch, which is often what it takes to win these games.
Coach, thank you very much. I know you got some preparation and maybe want to watch a little bit of the second game, so good luck, and we'll see you Thursday.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.